Hi, this is Geoff Tate, and you're watching Metal Rules. Wow, let's see if I can remember that far back. Funny thing, my wife and I wanted to get a few days off, so we went up to Rovaniemi, and we took a sleigh ride, and we rode a dog sled, and something we'd always wanted to do, And we stayed in this beautiful little hotel, and it was just covered in snow. There was so much snow there. And we were having dinner one night and drinks. We met some people in the bar there who were from China. And we said, what are you doing here? And we got talking, and they said, oh, we're trying to escape the country because there's this horrible disease that's happening. It's called the coronavirus, and it's just taking people out. And we're like, this is the first time we'd ever heard of it, And we were all making jokes about it, and because there's this Mexican beer called Corona, that everybody drinks, and we're saying, yeah, you want some, lime with that Corona, and making these jokes, and it was a big laugh fest. And shortly after that, we came back to the United States and started touring, and everything started shutting down, around us. And within a month of being back in the States, we were off the road for a year and a half, I think it was. So my first impressions of the coronavirus and the pandemic were here.
Yeah. In Finland. Something to remember.
Yeah, but I had a really good time, actually. I hate to say that, but I had a good time being off the road and being home, and I was very productive and had did a lot of work on music, and also took care of a lot of things that I've been putting off for years and years. Taking care of what they call loose ends, So, but it was really good to get back, and tour again and travel, and we kind of watched what was happening around the world, and we went to the places where they were starting to open up sooner. So we weren't off the road that long as other bands did, and so but it's good to be back. I'm happy that things are normalizing now again. I'm so glad that seems to be the case, I'm very happy that people still want to hear the music, and they still want to hear me sing, and I'm very happy to do that. It's actually about the promoters. The promoter a lot of promoters are fans who grew up with my music, and they've always wanted to hear the warning because they missed it or something like that, and so they come to me and they say, will you please play this? And sure, why not? If you can sell that and people want to come to that show, I'd be glad to do it, So I'd like to play every one of my albums, I really would. There's some I have never played, In fact, until we did the 30th anniversary of Empire and Rage for Order, I hadn't played every song on those albums either. And now I know them very intimately because I've played a lot of shows,
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, you have been playing Empire and Operation Mindcrime like years.
Yeah. Well, it started out like we thought when we first did this, we did the 30th anniversary of Operation Mindcrime, but it took us like 3 years to go everywhere and play it, because it takes a long time. So 3 years later, people are going, why are you still playing this album? Well, because we haven't been everywhere yet. And the promoters keep saying, come to my city and play this album, so we do.
So in August of 22, you also played the entire Promised Land in Belfast.
Yeah.
That was special.
Very special. Yeah, very, very difficult to play. Yeah. But I enjoyed it in some sort of strange way. It's a very somber, melancholy album, I don't know if I'll do it again. Maybe if a promoter comes to me and says, please, it's my favorite album, will you please play it, I will give it a shot again. But it's a very difficult album to play live because it's not exciting and up and like some of the other albums are and some of the other songs. This is a very introspective record. So audiences tend to get like emotional and they get, I don't know, uncomfortable at times, you know. So I don't know. It's maybe if you played the album like some of the album and then put other songs in as well, it might change the mood, you know, maybe. I don't know. I still haven't found the right combination yet, you know, with that. Yeah, we did. We did 90, 95, I think it was. Yeah, when the album came out, we played the whole thing.
Right, right. Okay. Besides those tremendously great early Queensrÿche albums, you have released many other great albums and songs in your career. Do you think that there is a possibility that you will someday make a full tour that will include songs from your entire career? You know, solo stuff, Operation Mindcrime, the late Queensrÿche albums as well.
I'd love to. I'd love to. Yeah. I constantly try to work in newer songs to my set list. Yeah, it's funny because people don't know a lot of that stuff. You know, in fact, I talk about it in my show. I play the. I got in this conversation with a guy at a gas station one day when I was filling up my car, and he said he had all my albums, and I said, "Oh yeah, which ones do you have?" And he goes, "I have all of them," and he named them, but he only went up to Empire. And I said, well, you know, I have a lot more records than that. And he goes, you do? What have you been doing since '91? And I said, okay, well, I wrote them all down for him, right? So I talk about that to the audience, and then I say, well, right now, we're going to play a song from 2013 from an album called, and nobody knows the name of the album.
Right.
So we play the song anyway, and but I think you gotta people. A lot of times people don't know that those records are out, and so how would they know the song if you don't play it? You know.
Yeah.
So the way they learn about the song, and maybe they have a connection with the song, is through you performing it. You know. So at least that's my logic.
It's a good one. You have to test the people.
Well, they're all doing their own projects, you know, which is exciting. And we're all doing a project together we're working on. Yeah, I mean, my guys love touring. They love it. They can't get enough of it. I can't keep them off the road. You know, they just want to go, go, go. So I remember feeling like that. I do. I still, most days I get up and I'm excited to be there, you know. It's a great life traveling around. It's a bit nomadic, you know. You do miss your friends and family at times, but the way we try to construct it is that people have, you know, a week off here, you know, a week off there. But we try to keep everybody pretty busy, you know, and keep rolling.
So you are saying that Operation Mindcrime, those guys, it's a totally different project. You want to keep it separate from your touring band.
You know, when we first came up with that name, it was after the breakup of Queensrÿche, when we were finding out that people didn't know my name enough for me to be selling tickets, you know, but they did know the words Operation Mindcrime, and they recognized that, and they associated that with me. So we started calling it the Operation Mindcrime Project. But now it's gotten to the point where people understand that, and they know who I am now, and so because I spent 30 years signing my name Queensrÿche, you know. For those solo artists out there, lesson number one: always use your own name.
I remember that once the last Mindcrime album came out, the band Mindcrime, you had a plan someday to perform all 3 albums in a row.
Yeah.
But it never happened.
No, not yet. Never say never.
That was a big plan.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of music, and it would take I think, an entire evening, you know, to play it all. You know, I think it's 3 hours worth of music or something like that. You know. I have, gosh, I have a solo album in the works, and I have another album which I'm not going to talk about at all in the works. It's almost done, and then I have a Sweet Oblivion album that's beginning. So I hope to have that out by the end of the year. I hope.
Okay. Lots of new stuff.
And I have a jazz album that I started working on years ago that it's all instrumental.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to put that out though yet. Maybe when I'm old and retire. I am old. What am I talking about?
You're not retired. Yeah, you mentioned Sweet Oblivion, and I remember when we spoke last time, then the band only had one album out. That was 3 years ago. But last year you released Relentless, which is an excellent album. Even it's all other guys who have played with Queensrÿche except you, but it sounds like the 80s Queensrÿche to me.
Kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot, and it's really great. So I remember that you were not that excited about the band at first, but something has changed. Am I right?
I've sort of grown into it and understand it more, where it's going and what it's doing. So yeah, I'm more comfortable now with it. Yeah, and I'm very excited about the new album. And I hope to be able to play some of that stuff live at some point. I'm looking forward to that. But I gotta let. I think if you release these records, it people get to know the songs more and they're more familiar with them, so that when you do play them live, they're ready for it. But a lot of times you release stuff and play right away, and nobody knows the music. And they're uncomfortable because they don't know it.
Right. Besides Sweet Oblivion, you also have been involved a lot with Avantasia.
Yeah.
You missed the shows last summer for certain reasons, but you're still a part of the new album.
Yes.
Right. So, how it was to work with Tobias, and do you have plans to collaborate more music in the future?
We don't have any plans at the moment, but I hope he calls me. I really enjoy it. I love working with him, and the whole group is amazing, insane bunch of people. Yeah, just our schedules didn't really collide this time, but I hope to do it again. It was really fun. It's fun to play the big festivals with them and jump around on those big stages together,
And then you don't have to sing the whole show, only a set of the
Yeah, I mean, I would gladly sing the show. I keep telling them, if you need me to, take over.
You also had some health issues last summer. Is everything fine now?
Seems to be. Yeah, I feel great. I had a heart valve replacement. They actually cut into you and open you up and take your heart out and do stuff to it and stuck it back in.
Sounds simple.
Yeah, crazy. So, yeah, I had that done, and it kind of put me out of commission for like a few months. I'd never been in the hospital before. I'd never been ill, and when I went into the hospital, I felt normal. I'd gotten to feel normal, and when I came out of the hospital, I felt horrible. I'd never had that experience before having an operation, But I feel like I'm in my, I don't know, like late 30s or 40s now physically. I feel really good, and I've just recently started working out more, which my doctor told me I had to give it a long, because they cut into your chest and they have to wait till the muscles grow back together and all this. So I'm feeling good. I think by next year I'm going to feel like amazing, a good year of working out and hiking and lifting weights and everything.
And you feel like 25.
I hope so. Give my wife hell. Wow, it does, huh? Whew. That'd be interesting. I hadn't even thought that far ahead yet. Good idea.
Because I remember the stories, how the record was done back in the day. That was really unique way to do an album.
Yeah, it was. It was. I'm glad we did it that way too. It was a special time. It really was. Has he? Oh, I didn't know that.
No,
No.
no, now you know.
Oh.
Acoustic stuff in a local bars and bars.
Oh, okay.
That was the first time since forever.
Well, I don't see how he could help himself. I mean, he's really a musician deep down, you know. Yeah. Well, this time I'm going to Ireland. I have a week off, and my youngest daughter moved to Ireland, and she married an Irishman, and so we're going visiting with her for a week, and she's getting well. We hope she's pregnant, so we're gonna go check it out. See, we're expecting some good news when we go.
Okay.